when we started it in '08, we started a society to go along with it, and it was called the 100 Horses Society. And the reason we called it that was there's a Marshall wrote a book, he's from Rosebud, and he says in that book, every woman is worth at least 100 horses. So that's what we used. Every woman is worth at least 100 horses. So we named our society the 100 Horses Society. And the only purpose at that point in time was whoever finished ceremony would become a society member, and it would become their responsibility to keep it going. So it was like from older to younger, like that. We did more and more with that as the years went by until we turned it over to Medina. We have this whole thing planned out. We have plans for 20 years, for 50 years, for 150 years, and we had them already. But Medina has brought new ideas. So we have two things. We have the 100 Horses Society, which is for women that have or went through the ceremony. And then we have, under her leadership, we have the 100 Horses Women's Society. So we decided go into the grassroots communities on our reservation and start having meetings with women and girls and older women and working with our women on things like family trees and skills and all the things that we as Native women need to know to remain that backbone in our families. We teach them about prayer because our culture is based on prayer for everything. We teach them the different kinds of prayers that they do in a traditional way. We do food, and we teach them how to cut meat and how to make like wasna, which is a sacred food. We've been doing this for all these years now, and we want to move that out into the community. We're going to do womenhood stuff. We're going to teach girls and women how to change a tire, how to fill out a college application. We're going to go in there and work with them and do the things that they want to do. As we took trips into the Black Hills, we're hearing our stories, we're hearing our history, we're seeing the places that are ours up there.
And I made a promise to myself when I was a kid growing up that, if I did have kids, I wasn't going to raise them how I was raised, in a alcoholic home, domestic violence. I didn't want my kids to see what I saw, to experience what I experienced. I worked for the Sioux YMCA as the business manager, and that's where I got my passion for the youth. And I can relate to them because I grew up here, and I know who their parents are, and I know that the struggles that those parents, my peers, have gone through. But just empowering our girls on Cheyenne River, that they have a voice. Had I known growing up that I could have told my abusers, no, this isn't right. I'm putting my foot down. I have a right to be respected, loved, and cherished. And what you're doing to me is not right. Teaching our girls to use their voice, So by going into the communities and working with girls and at all four stages of womanhood, girls, young women, women, and elder women, there's some elder women who don't even know that this exists, that there was a ceremony. We have women who need support and guidance for their spirit. So by going into the community and sharing these teachings and this knowledge with them, it helps to reawaken their spirit and that core Lakota memory of who they are, where they come from. I know now who I am, where I come from, and how empowered I am. I want to give that to the younger generation too. So when those younger generation of girls in 50 years become mothers, become aunties, become a relative of a younger generation. They will they will share that knowledge with those younger girls. And we can see the end of domestic violence, sexual assaults. We can see the end of abuse against our children, you know, if we can change it now with the younger generation. Show them what a healthy relationship is. Show them and share with them that they have a voice and they can use it. If we can if we can get to our kids now and give them this cultural foundation, so when they do leave and they come upon something, they can always call back on who they are, where they come from, and reground themselves and either go at it some more or come home.
I always said my goal for my three children was that they could go anywhere in the world. They could do whatever they want as Lakota. As long as they had that identification, they could go and do whatever they want because they could always ground themselves back to it.